Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Eric Chilton with Lauren Coleman, Stacy Spivey, and Monique Robinson.
Yeah, welcome everyone to watching the 4 to 5 right here on WFMY News 2, also on Fire Stick, Roku, and the News 2 app, which you can get on your TV, phone, or tablet.
We're going to get straight into it. It is a big day for Greensboro now that we know Boom Supersonic is the company behind Project Thunderbird. The aviation company will bring more than 1,700 jobs to Greensboro over the next 8 years as part of a more than $500 million investment.
It's crazy. Guilford County leaders have been part of multiple meetings today discussing tax breaks and incentives to bring the company to Greensboro. Today, Governor Roy Cooper made the exciting announcement reminding us why North Carolina is first in flight.
Where the Greensboro area and the Triad already excels with top flight aeronautics companies. On another chilly day 118 years or so ago, the Wright brothers took off from Kitty Hawk, making North Carolina first in flight. And this afternoon, we're launching the future of flight.
Mayor Nancy Vaughn attributes 3 key reasons why Boom Supersonic selected the Gate City.
Our cost of living, our amenities, our workforce development, it really is the total package.
Our team is on top of this major economic announcement. WFMY News 2's Jenna Krasina is live in Greensboro, where she's been listening in on those discussions between Guilford County leaders. And WFMY News 2's Grace Holland is also live in Greensboro, where Governor Cooper and other leaders revealed more about Project Thunderbird.
WFMY News 2's Eric Chilton spoke with Downtown Greensboro Inc. about how Boom Supersonic will help Greensboro grow. But Grace, we're going to start with you. You were at that big announcement today that everyone has been waiting on for months.
That's right. A lot of people braving the cold to be out here for this announcement today, and we now know that it is going to be Boom Supersonic that has chosen this site back here behind me to build a manufacturing facility for their supersonic jets. I want to step out of the way so you can get a look at that site. Now, what we understand is that Boom chose North Carolina, chose PTI because of the education system in our state and because of the proximity to the coast for those test flights that they are eventually going to be doing once those jets roll off the line. We know that these supersonic jets, according to the company, will have the ability to fly twice the speed of current passenger jets, and that facility is going to employ over the next 10 years, or at least until the end of the decade, about 1,700 jobs with an average salary of $68,000, which is above average. Here's what Governor Roy Cooper had to say about what this will bring to the Triad and North Carolina.
The goal is supersonic, zero carbon, sustainable flight that will connect the world at record speed with the least damage to our environment. Boom Supersonic will locate its flagship final assembly line, its super factory, right over there. The new jobs created will include opportunities for engineers, supervisors, and numerous manufacturing specialists and technicians.
Boom's president said it is a little bit early to get into the details of their hiring process that's going to take place over the next few years. But what we do know about this timeline is that they plan to have that first jet off the manufacturing line by 2025 and to start doing those test flights by 2026. Governor Cooper says that it is possible that these jets could be used for commercial passenger travel in the future, and actually United Airlines signed a deal with Boom earlier this year.
Grace, thank you. Some exciting news. Boom Supersonic is an airplane manufacturer that develops fast and sustainable commercial jets. Their historic model, the Overture, is a net zero carbon jet capable of flying at twice the speed of fastest passenger jets. This is the model the company will manufacture in Greensboro. Boom is currently working with the U.S. Air Force for government applications of the Overture, according to the company's website. United Airlines intends to purchase 15 of Boom's airliners once the Overture meets safety guidelines. Japan has already pre-ordered 20 aircrafts. The Overture jet is not in the sky right now. Boom Supersonic hopes to launch the model in 2025 with a first flight in 2026. Boom Supersonic did roll out their XBI model back in October. The model went through ground testing last year and flights Flight tests are scheduled for this year.
Colleges and universities in Greensboro say companies like Boom Supersonic look to them to help fuel their workforce, but employees don't have to be fresh out of college to land these jobs. Guilford Works has partnerships in the aviation field. Guilford Works says in order for people to land these positions, they need to connect with local workforce programs like Guilford Works, NC Works, and even local colleges.
To see what types of opportunities as far as training are available, because a lot of these positions will be technical positions around advanced manufacturing. So it's going to provide some stability for folks who are looking to stay in that career track in that industry sector. But also it's going to call for some new additional skills.
Guilford Works says they work closely with our economic development team to find out what skill sets are needed.
So if there are current skills that our current workforce has, we want to make sure we bring that and showcase that with the companies. But also if there are things that we need to go ahead and get in front of prior to them landing, we will make sure we're setting up the right training opportunities for our local workforce.
If you are interested in taking flight into a new career, look for this information on our website.
Happy Wednesday. As we take a look outside right now, just blue all across the board. Truist Field looking at blue skies there, Wake Forest as well. And then we draw our eyes over to Greensboro, UNC Greensboro, and over West Wendover Avenue. Skies are blue, but it also is fairly chilly out there today. As Governor Roy Cooper mentioned earlier in this 4 p.m. newscast, it's cold. 41 is the current temperature in Greensboro, 41 as well in Reedsville, 43 at Walnut Cove. You can see all of these 40s on here, a much different picture as compared to yesterday. I mean, nearly 15 to 20 degrees colder right now as compared to this exact time yesterday. That cold air really settling its way in, and I think getting a little bit too comfy. We're nearly 10 degrees below average across the area, and tonight temperatures expected to fall down into 20s and even teens across the area. That Canadian high pressure building its way in, like I said, getting a little bit too comfy. As we continue for your day tomorrow, much of these same temperatures just in those 40s. Now this cold front, I'm keeping a close eye on the cold front as well as this area of low pressure that's riding up along the North Carolina coast. These two particular systems kind of working their way together to potentially bring us some wintry weather for the start of your weekend, starting as early as late Friday and continuing through your Saturday. I have more details on it coming up.
Let's get to your 4 to 5 roundup. Greensboro police are searching for the shooters who injured someone at Four Seasons Town Center last night. Police say the shooting happened at round 1 and stemmed from a dispute between the people involved. Someone took a victim to a local hospital shortly after the shooting. Police believe the shooters are juveniles. If you have any information, call Crime Stoppers. A portion of I-40 east in Winston-Salem reopened earlier this morning after a crash. A cement truck overturned on the highway near exit 196. Authorities didn't say what caused the crash or if anyone was injured. There's another push to delay North Carolina's primaries even later this year. The state Senate voted to delay this year's primaries until June. Previously, the Supreme Court delayed the primaries from January to May due to legal challenges over redistricting maps. The bill is now on Governor Cooper's desk for his signature if he decides to sign it. Peter Robbins, the man who brought the Peanuts' Charlie Brown to life, he has died at age 65. Robbins was 9 years old when he first voiced Charlie Brown back in 1965. His voice appeared in multiple Peanuts specials and movies for 4 years. He even had a tattoo of Snoopy hugging Charlie Brown on his arm. Robbins also had guest appearances on Get Smart, Good Times, and his final acting credit on My Three Sons in 1972. We'll be right back.
While I would appreciate a small prayer, the best gift that you could give me is for you to get that colonoscopy that you had been putting off, or make sure you get it when you turn 45 years old.
Our Julie Luck made the announcement yesterday about her colon cancer diagnosis. Along her fight, she's made it her mission to make sure people get screened, and doctors say early detection is key. Here's what you need to know about colon cancer. The people most at risk are those with a family history, especially anyone with a relative who's had it under the age of 60. Irritable bowel syndrome and African Americans have a 20% increased risk over people that are white. Risk factors include smoking, drinking, obesity, and a diet high in red meat and low in fruits and vegetables. And then here are the symptoms: persistent changes in bowel habits, diarrhea, constipation, blood in your stool, abdominal pain, discomfort, or cramps. When you turn 45, or if you're over 45, it's recommended to get a colonoscopy. If you have a family history or any symptoms that I just listed, you need to consult with your doctor.
The prep is not pleasant, but the consequences of missed or late diagnosed colon cancer are much more severe.
Dr. Alton Sutter is an assistant professor of colon and rectal surgery at Atrium Wake Forest Baptist Health. He says if everybody from ages 45 to 75 got screened, it would add about 123 days of life for every person screened.
If colon cancers are found early, it is a curable disease. It can be resected and the patients go on to do very well and live a happy life with minimal to no disability.
So how do you know if your symptoms are something serious versus just some bad eating habits? Dr. Sutter says if they are persistent for more than 3 days, it could be concerning. And we ask you to continue to keep Julie in your thoughts and prayers. We know, though, she is a fighter, and she will soon be back here on News 2. But I think it was so important that we continue to share her message of go and get screened. Like the doctor said, it can be uncomfortable. It's not fun to do, obviously, but it can literally save your life.
And Julie said, she goes, I put it off a little bit because I thought I was in good health. Julie's in very good health,
Yes.
by the way. And then she said that was a shock to her. So my father actually had colon cancer, so I had to start at 40 doing that. I've been through 3 of them. It's really not what it used to be. People talk about how bad it used to be. It was a long time ago. A lot easier now. And literally 3 hours, 4 hours of your day, and you could save your life.
We're certainly praying for you, Julie, and we commend her for sharing something so personal
Yes.
with us and for all the viewers at home. And she's really going to touch a lot of people with this, to do those routine checkups just in general. What might be a toothache could be something so much more.
right.
So this is really touching a lot of folks at home.
And I know we had a conversation, Lauren and I, yesterday about how sometimes it can be scary to go to the doctor. You just don't know what to expect, but knowing is better than just not knowing and avoiding it altogether, because it could potentially save your life, whether we are talking colon cancer or, like you said, a toothache. Could be some major surgery that you may need in your mouth, or if we're talking breast cancer. I mean, there's so many different things that we need to routinely make sure we're going to these specialists and doctors to make sure we're good.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. And just look at this over here. This is all the support that Julie has been receiving from you guys at home. It has been so incredible, and we thank you guys for having our backs, having her back, and we hope that you continue praying for her and just thinking about her.
Yeah, she's going to fight this. She's a tough cookie.
Absolutely.
She's a phenomenal woman. And just look at some of these comments. Sending many prayers to you. You are beautiful inside and out. You will beat this. You got this, Julie. Sending prayers your way.
Yep.
They just keep floating in.
That's great. Keep sending the comments in. We appreciate that. We'll take a short break, and we're coming back. Hello, doll.
When they have like 5 different types of cheeses.
Hello, Facebook.
We're talking about grilled cheese, by the way.
Again, food.
Wait, like a special kind or just normal grilled
Just
cheese?
like a gourmet grilled cheese that has like 5 different cheeses.
Do you ever toast pimento cheese sandwiches? I love that.
I like pimento cheese. Oh,
Ooh,
I
I do.
had some on some fried green tomatoes before at a restaurant.
Yes.
Delicious.
Love
so
pimento
good.
cheese. I've had pimento cheese dip. That was good.
Yeah, you just can't go wrong with
No, you
cheese,
cannot.
y'all. I'm not a huge blue cheese person, though. I
Oh, I
will say
love
that.
blue cheese.
I
like
could
it
do
on salad.
the crumbles,
Yeah,
on
I
a
like on
salad,
salad.
but I would rather have ranch to dip my wings in or something.
Oh, I'm definitely blue cheese with wings. My wife will be upset with you, Lauren, because she said in Buffalo, the original hot wing, she goes, you can't dip it in ranch. That's not a original wing thing. Blue cheese.
Do y'all dip your pizza in
Yes,
ranch?
I have to.
Yes, But you know, if you've lived here for a while, then you know how the Triad has positioned development toward the tech industry. It's not a new idea. We've been talking about it forever. The idea is to rival what Research Triangle Park model has in Raleigh-Durham area. Well, today's announcement plays right into this. I spoke with Downtown Greensboro Incorporated President Zach Matheny about what this means for us.
Well, if you look at our technology from the nanotech at the Gateway campus to Qorvo and the chips that they make for all our phones that we all use to the Toyota plant that was announced with the battery manufacturing, that is technology. That's technology for the future. And then you put Boom Supersonic, which is the most innovative technology, sustainable technology in the world for airfare. We are a technology hub right here in the Triad.
Matheny says not only is this a monumental company carrying an incredible amount of jobs, but it's a company that already has those orders that we talked about even before the facility is manufactured.
They're coming in not only as a startup company ready to go to a prototype in 2025, Boom comes with orders. They've got orders for 15 jets from United Airlines with an option of 35 more. That's a pretty good purchase order. And then on top of that, they have a relationship with the United States Air Force for $60 million with their research. You take that with Boom on the north end, HondaJet on the south end, HAECO just in proximity, and among the other airfare, the amount of jobs that creates is phenomenal.
So it's interesting, the kind of trickle-down effect of this whole thing is not just, because my questions to Zach Matheny were like, for the average person, what does this mean? For people that are sitting at home going, well, I'm not going to work there, you know, I can't get those jobs. But it's the overall growth of the area. And he said once, and we already have, as he mentioned, HondaJet, HAECO, the regular airport itself, now this, and then the Toyota plant. He said, we're going to get so many periphery businesses that rely on those big businesses that the growth is exponential, and we may end up with, in 10 years or so, the population boom here will be incredible.
That's awesome. And you were also talking about like people's homes will be worth a lot more
Yes.
too as a part of that trickle down
Well, they'll
effect.
have to build more housing, right? Because all these new people would be coming in. Some people here obviously will get those jobs, but he said the economic growth means in 10 years your house value will be up. It's hard to believe because right now it's kind of crazy, right? It's more than we thought it would be. It'll be worth even more.
I mean, just looking at the actual planes, it's so cool. Doesn't it make you think of something futuristic?
Yes.
Which I guess it
The
technically
Jetsons.
is. Exactly. It's going to be jetting across, you know, everywhere on the planet and making what I think is so cool. It's going to cut your travel time in half.
It'd be nice to have a 2.5-hour flight to the West Coast, wouldn't it? That would be something else.
I would love that.
Incredible.
I think
All right, let's check
everybody
in with Monique and weather. We can fly anywhere, Monique.
I'd love to fly somewhere, definitely not to the northeast, as they're expecting some major winter storm activity. Not for us here at home. We are expecting some snow flurries and even some rain to end out the week and head into the weekend, but here's it all breaking down right here. Scattered rain likely quickly turning into light snow going into the early part of your Saturday. Roughly a trace to even 2 inches of snowfall across the area, but patchy, and watching for slick spots as we start the day on Saturday, and then things clearing as we end out and go into your Sunday.
Mics are hot. Mics are hot.
Lauren's throwing down over here.
I promise I'm not sick. My nose is just running because I'm freezing.
Boom.
See,
You're
I'm
freezing?
so cold. Yes.
It is.
I've been
It's a
cold
little
all
cold.
day.
Oh, I feel great right now, but a couple days it was kind of hot.
I need to think warm thoughts.
Oh yeah, especially with the possibility of snow on the way.
Speaking
No,
of,
I don't wanna
listen to
talk
this.
about it.
Chad Silber just texted me. He said, "Remember when I told you that my high school would cancel for cold weather once in a while?" He said, "Today they canceled because the actual air temperature was -23."
What?
That's not a wind chill. Actual air temperature.
Could you imagine if it was like that here in North Carolina? We
No.
wouldn't know what to do.
No. No.
But they would
no.
cancel work. Like
Yes.
everything would be
Well,
canceled.
except
I
for
would
us.
not leave my house.
Can I work from home today?
I would be like, I'm sick. No, I'm just kidding. Actually, am I kidding?
Yeah, am
but
I?
like, that's dangerous.
That's you definitely need to bundle up
I
with
wonder
that.
what those reporters do out there. When you think about it, like, what do they?
I don't know how you do that. Because you'd have to cover up everything but your eyes with like a ski outfit.
I remember when I lived in Syracuse for grad school, and it was so cold there, like the ice it felt like fire almost. It was so cold it burned.
bet.
like needles.
Yeah,
kinda-
like, and I remember walking with all my MMJ equipment in that snow and ice.
Yeah,
And it
that.
For
just-
I
those of you
mean,
at home, that means she was carrying like tripod camera, everything.
Oh yeah,
herself.
by myself.
okay, so I asked on the live stream, snow, yes or no?
Ugh,
No.
I'm kind of over it.
I'm
now.
over it. We had our fun.
I've had two.
Today's U Day moment is about you, as Coach Lamont tells you how to focus on how to better yourself.
There's a you locked up inside of you that is awaiting to become the called and desired you that you were created to become. Unfortunately, this you is ignored by the current you because you are too comfortable in the you that you have accepted. There is always better, and you can have better if you only allow you to have the best version of you. Never accept that who you are right now is all that you will ever be. That is simply a lie we tell ourselves and convince ourselves. Look at life from a different angle. Are you willing to remain where you are when there is a brand new version of you screaming for more? Listen to the you within you that wants the best for you. It's the least that you can do. This is Coach Lamont. Make today your best you day. I'll see you tomorrow.
I think there's always a better versions of ourselves that we can be, but you have to apply pressure to that. You just can't sit there and say, I want to be different. You have to put in the action to actually change. So I think this U-Day segment is very motivational, but now it's time to do the work.
Right. You can say what you want. What does actions speak louder than words? That's true.
I like when you said put pressure on it, because I know a lot of times people say in order to create diamonds, we have to put pressure
Yeah, that's right.
on the stone. So I just kind of feel like we are diamonds maybe living inside of us, and we have to put pressure on us a little bit. And sometimes that means putting ourselves in uncomfortable places so that we can grow and then become that best version of ourselves.
I think we should all challenge ourselves today to become better people, to be the better version of ourselves. in whatever way we can.
And how do you plan to do that?
Uh-oh, here we go.
Want me to put you on?
Well, currently in my mind, I was thinking about the coffee shop and how I want a warm coffee to warm myself up, to put myself in a better mood. So when I go home, I am a productive wife and mother.
Love it, love it.
You're saying coffee is the key to
I
happiness
just
for
need
you.
some coffee.
I mean, it is kind of the key to happiness as early as we wake up sometimes.
It's
That's
true.
true. When I was younger, I never understood. Have you ever heard the saying that say there's no such thing as a free lunch? And I didn't get that when I was younger. And as I got older, I thought, oh, I understand. There's always, you can't get anything for free. There's usually some sort of work you have to put in. So a better you is something that it's not going to happen just for free. You got to work at
that
it.
I like that
analogy.
I know for myself, this past week, I stopped going to the gym just for this week. And sometimes the better version of yourself is the one that's more re-energized from just taking a break from things. So I think sometimes just taking a step back from life and not being on go is something that helps me to be a better
very
version of
true.
myself at times.
I love that. Absolutely, Monique. And for me, drinking more water, just feeling like fresh and cleansed. I don't drink enough, so I've been drinking a lot of water. You've seen me with that huge
Yes.
gallon.
Yeah.
I've been trying to drink, so that's
This thing
not
she
good.
brings in on her back. Like this.
Carries in her
All right,
water.
we're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Thing's gigantic.
Seven hours.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Couple steps back.
Announcement and shared his excitement to have another big name in the tribe.
All right.
I'm reading over my scripts.
That's okay. My solo dad experience for a few days will end tomorrow. My wife's coming back from a trip.
So how have you done? Scale of 1 to 10, 1 being not so great, 10
All right.
being great.
So I would say, let's say a 1 to 10, I probably did I'm going to say 6 or 7
Okay.
because for their school lunches. So my little girl will buy lunch at school. She actually likes some of the school lunches. My youngest boy cannot stand any of them. He packs every day. But Lunchables are like the bailout, right? We only use those. We usually do that when we keep them and then use them in emergency situations, but I did it for them twice this week.
Lunchables are great.
I think they're great, but I can hear Leslie right now. She goes, those are supposed to be saved for what? But so that's 4 of them are gone out of the fridge because I did it 2 days in a row. But they love them,
They're
and it makes
good.
packing lunch a lot easier.
Okay, so
I
who
cheated.
packs the lunch?
So Tyler and Drew will pack their own.
Okay.
But we have to, you have to stay on and make them do it. But they will pack their own. But what Tyler packs, you have to watch because it's always some crazy 2 cheese sticks and a yogurt drink and like all the dairy and crackers he can stuff into one lunchbox. It's never like, he's very picky. So he'll do peanut butter crackers, which is good.
Yeah.
But sometimes he'll put like, I'm not kidding, like 2 or 3 cheese sticks in a napkin. And I'm like, no, buddy.
You know,
Not a
we
lunch.
love our cheese.
Good afternoon, welcome back. I'm Lauren Coleman here at Eric Chilton, Stacey Spivey, and Monique Robinson.
Yep, welcome to everybody watching right here on WFMY News 2. Don't forget, you can get us on Fire Stick, Roku, or our WFMY News 2 app.
We want to get started though with our big story today. More than 1,700 jobs will land in Greensboro as Boom Supersonic sets up shop at PTI Airport.
It's an announcement that's been months in the making, and the excitement, we can feel it in the air as yet another big company looks to call Greensboro home. Governor Cooper was part of that big announcement and shared his excitement to have another big name in the triad.
Talking about going places. Last month it was by land. Today it's by air. And it's great to announce that Boom Supersonic, the company that's building the next generation of cleaner, faster passenger jets, will build them right here at the Piedmont Triad Airport, creating 1,761 new good-paying jobs.
Yeah, you can feel his excitement there. Governor Cooper credited this successful project to many,
including Guilford County leaders who spent months coming up with incentives to attract Boom Supersonic here. And before you can talk companies, you have to talk cash.
Jenna talked about the incentives leaders agreed to bring Boom Supersonic to Greensboro. Jenna.
Yeah, the incentives coming from both the city and the county, and this is the site now where the large airplane manufacturer company Boom Supersonic will soon build. It's near the intersection of 63 and 78, creating more than 1,700 jobs for this area. Both Guilford County commissioners and city council members voted unanimously to approve incentives for Boom Supersonic. The county is offering tax breaks. Commissioners voted to give the company 80% of eligible tax revenue for a period of 10 years for the creation of more than 1,700 jobs. According to the chairman, that means the company would pay its county taxes, but would get back 80% of what they paid over an entire decade. The city's incentive grant will offer $1,500 per job, which will add up to about $2.5 million for the company. Leaders from both the city and county say today is exciting, but there's more on the horizon.
Our airport area is expanding. They are booming also. Play on words, boom technology, is supersonic. But they are booming, and we're excited to have them as part of our family. Making manufacturers of jets and planes. We have Honda Jet out there in the area. So this will hopefully attract even more businesses like this.
Really feels good, especially on the heels of the Toyota announcement. It shows that our region really has a lot of momentum and that there are people looking at our region from around the world.
Again, this is the land that will soon be home to that large manufacturing company, and this project has been in the works since April of 2021.
Thanks, Jenna. Boom Supersonic is an airplane manufacturer that develops fast and sustainable commercial jets. Their historic model, the Overture, is a net zero carbon jet capable of flying at twice the speed of the fastest passenger jets. This is the model the company will manufacture in Greensboro. Boom is currently working with the U.S. Air Force for government applications of the Overture. According to the company's website, that is, the United States Airlines intends to purchase 15 of Boom's airliners once the Overture meets safety guidelines. Japan has already pre-ordered 20 aircrafts. The Overture jet is not in the sky right now. Boom Supersonic hopes to launch the model in 2025 with the first flight in 2026. Boom Supersonic did roll out their XB1 model back in October. The model went through ground testing last year, and the flight tests are scheduled for this year.
So if you stop to think about it, our area already has a huge number of aviation companies already in place. Everything from HAECO and Honda Jet to the airport itself. Now we will see even more. PTI Executive Director Kevin Baker says to get ready for even more higher paying jobs.
Right now there are 8,600 people that are working on the airport on any given day. 10 years ago, that was 4,500. So you're looking at, we've doubled almost in the last 10 years in terms of employment. And you got to remember, these are good jobs. These are jobs that are, above average household income in the area. And remember that average household income often is two earners, right? That you have two folks that are working in that house and both earning salaries. We're talking about here a single salary being in excess of average household income.
All that growth means more people, and more people means more air traffic. Baker says another side effect, or the trickle-down effect, is even more flights to more places right out of the triad.
You cannot have a new company come in with that many employees. That's going to put us over 10,000 people eventually that are in the aerospace industry here. And you can't possibly have that kind of growth and not have growth in air traffic as well, because those folks need to fly places, wherever their suppliers may be, wherever their customers may be, et cetera. They're going to need to, to travel from time to time. And an airport is just, Ted Johnson used to always say that an airport is a reflection of the community that it serves.
So therefore, as a community grows, so does your airport. And he said, it's good for us here because we'll have more flights. Now, that may not mean more direct flights.
I was about to ask.
Right, because we're not a hub and probably wouldn't be with this, but I mean, maybe, 20, 30 years from now we could be. But it's, the point to this is that you'll get more flights to more places. And that's part of the problem here. Sometimes you have to have 2 connecting flights to get to where you want to be. And that may not be the case in another 10 years.
So would this mean though, because obviously I think it's great and don't discord that, but will this mean it'll be busier at the airport? Because what I love about PTI, it's so easy to get in through security and get to your flight. And I love the convenience of that, I'll be honest. So will something like this change that potentially?
I asked him that because that's like, my wife and I talk about the love-hate relationship with it, because you love the fact that it's not that busy, but you hate that there aren't as many direct flights. But he said, yes, that does mean more people coming into the airport. More flights mean more people. But there is, it takes a while for that to happen.
It's not going to happen tomorrow.
Right, that's right. So he said, you've got to get these more flights coming in because we have more people living here, but that may be a 10-year situation.
Okay. I think this is just so exciting for our area. When we think big cities, we're like Raleigh, Charlotte, but it's like Greensboro is going to be the place that people want to come. And I think with these new jobs, it's going to attract other companies to come here too. And it's just going to be exciting where this is going to take the Triad.
Remember, things can change. When my dad told me when he was growing up, Winston-Salem was the largest city in the state. So who knows what would happen in another 40, 50 years.
You never know. We have a lot of potential here.
It's true.
It's exciting. Well, let's go ahead and move on to your 4 to 5 roundup. Today marks 2 years since a helicopter crash killed 9 people, including Kobe Bryant and his daughter Gianna. The helicopter crashed into a hillside in northwest Los Angeles. Investigators determined the pilot went against his training and violated flight rules by flying into thick clouds. The Transportation Safety Board said the pilot likely thought he was gaining altitude when the aircraft was actually heading towards the side of a hill. Since the crash, Bryant's widow, Vanessa Bryant, has agreed to settle a lawsuit which she brought against the pilot and owners of the helicopter company. David Ortiz has been elected to the Baseball Hall of Fame in his first try. Ortiz is a 10-time All-Star, over 20 seasons, and is the 58th player inducted in his first time up for consideration. 3 of his 23 career game-ending hits came during Boston's 2004 postseason when the Red Sox topped rival Yankees and then won their first World Series in 86 years. He's the 4th Hall of Famer born in the Dominican Republic. Well, thousands of cars are stranded on a European highway after a blizzard shut down the most modern stretch of road in Greece. Just look at that heavy snow. It typically doesn't hit Greece, but this is the second year in a row several inches have blanketed beaches in Athens. In Turkey, crews spent the night digging out cars and families. Istanbul saw 31 inches of snow. The Greek government is offering compensation during the extreme weather by giving stranded drivers about $2,000 apiece. Thank goodness we're not going to see anything like that here, Monique.
Yeah, Stacey, I was going to say that when I started out. Do not expect to see images like that across the area this weekend, at least here in Greensboro. Now, taking a look at temperatures right now, we are cold. I hear a lot of people say it's cold today. Yeah, much different as compared to yesterday, and at times it has been fairly windy. Wind gusts topping off between around 20 to 25 miles, you could say, around the area, but things have died down as of now, and we've been seeing a lot of sunshine, not even picking up on a cloud at all as we look on our satellite radar around our area. When we widen our view, we look north, temperature is very cold up there. I saw around Chicago dropping down to -41. Feels like temperatures, not like that here, but that's good news. But as we go to the weekend, we could expect some wintry weather. Here's a timeline breakdown for you. Starting out your Friday morning, clouds will increase, it will be cold. And then as we end out the day on Friday, looking at patchy rain quickly turning to snow, that could lead to some slick roads out there. So if you plan to go out on the town Friday night, it's going to get a little bit messy at times. Continuing through the early part of your Saturday morning, clouds will clear and it will be cold, and then slick travel continues for the day. Saturday evening, clearing skies, so getting to see a little bit more sunshine around your lunchtime through the latter part of your Saturday, and it could get windy at times. Wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour across the area. This futurecast kind of showing you the timing of this as this line of showers and wintry weather kind of makes its way through the area to end out the work week.
The workday is almost done, and that means you can kick your feet up and watch a movie tonight on the couch. Well, if you're not sure what to watch, our WFMY News 2 photojournalist Manning Franks has an idea for you.
Asian American history is American history. Too often we forget that notion, and that comes into a clearer picture with the incredibly nuanced Free Chao-Su Lee, a documentary exploring the wrongful conviction of a 20-year-old Korean male who, through inaccurate eyewitness accounts, had an entire justice system fail him. Directors Eugene Yee and Julie Ha construct an excellent encapsulation of Lee's writings to create a portrait of a man burdened with the weight of systemic injustice and its subsequent aftermath. Free Chao-Su Lee does an excellent job in inviting the audience to further understand who this man was, flaws and all. It's that empathetic touch that makes this film perk its head over its peers. While we flash back and forth with archival footage and talking heads, Lee's writings, we, like the Asian American community that rallied against this injustice during that time, join in the collective story of this young man. You get frustrated with Lee, you cry with him, you laugh with him, you cheer with him. It's also human. And for that, I'm gonna get a News 2 approved. While this is no longer available for viewing on Sundance's website, it will be available this Sunday, January 30th at 1 p.m. at Aperture Cinema. Wide release is still pending.
Manning will have another review for you on a different movie screening at the Sundance Film Festival tomorrow right here on your 4 to 5. So you can add that to your list, but what all have you been watching these days?
All right, so I'm completely sucked into Ozark, which just came out last weekend.
So my husband is too.
We talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
Every waking minute that I can, I try to watch that and catch up to it. And it has actually gotten progressively better and better. And then I'm also watching, I just finished Hawkeye. So the Marvel. Yep.
Okay. Most recently, because I haven't started watching anything this week, but most recently I watched Emily in Paris season 2.
Love that.
Love it. And then Cheer, of course, season 2.
I don't know Emily in Paris. I
It's
do not.
Oh, with Lily Collins?
It's good. I started watching it a couple weekends ago. It's on Netflix.
You'd appreciate it. It's definitely a girly show, but it's good.
It's good, yeah.
It's good. It's good. I don't care.
I just got done binging Selling Tampa on Netflix, so now I'm like, I want to get my real estate license. And then I've been binging Real Housewives of Atlanta from season 1 because I didn't start watching until a couple years ago, and I'm like, oh, that's why this person doesn't like that person. Okay, this makes sense now.
My wife watches all the Real Housewives she can. Loves them all. All right, let's take a break. We'll see you in a few.
Big news from the U.S. Supreme Court today. Justice Stephen Breyer, one of the longest serving members, is expected to retire. CBS News' Skylar Henry explains what this means for the Supreme Court.
Justice Stephen Breyer, the oldest member of the Supreme Court, will retire at the end of the court's current term. At 83 years old, the liberal justice had been under pressure to step down to give President Biden his first opportunity to pick a successor. The president says the timing was left to Breyer to decide.
Every justice has the right and opportunity to decide what he or she is going to do and announce it on their own. There has been no announcement from Justice Breyer. Let him make whatever statement he's going to make, and I'll be happy to talk about it later.
Appointed by President Bill Clinton in 1994, Breyer is the second longest serving of the current justices, just behind Clarence Thomas, who joined in 1991. The court's current term runs until the end of June. President Biden is expected to name his pick for Justice Breyer's replacement in the next few weeks. During his campaign, he pledged to nominate a black woman.
The president has stated and reiterated his commitment to nominating a black woman to the Supreme Court and certainly stands by that.
As a liberal justice, Breyer's ruling supported abortion rights, healthcare access, and LGBT causes. But in the court's current 6-3 conservative majority, he has often found himself in dissent. Timing allows the president to fill the vacancy while Democrats hold a slim majority in the Senate, a margin that could slip away after the midterm elections.
It's unclear how quickly President Biden will nominate a replacement for Breyer. Once those motions are put in place, we'll be sure to update you on air and online. We'll be right back.
The mic
Hello?
is hot. The mic is
Hello?
hot, hot, hot.
Where's he from?
I'm reading about Justice Breyer because I want to see if he is a part of the
Breyer ice cream. Vanilla bean is my favorite.
Me too.
Oh, he went to the University of Oxford.
Where?
He went to where?
It says,
Oxford.
so he went to Stanford, then to Oxford.
Oh,
Oh,
a graduate from
nice.
Harvard Law. It's too bad he's not intelligent. Wow. That's incredible.
He was first nominated by Clinton. Is that what that said up top?
I think so. Yeah, nominated by Bill Clinton.
Yeah. So where is he from? Does it say where he was born? Go down. It'll say early life and career.
Oh, here. Shouldn't it be over here too? No?
San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
Breyer.
Man, oh, it must not be the ice cream.
Oh man, we were trying to figure out.
I know.
That doesn't
All right.
seem like it.
Where am I going?
He was in the U.S. Army Reserve.
Lauren, where am I?
Sorry, I have the 5 pulled up. Where is Eric?
Oh, hold on.
I think I'm D4.
Oh, one of his children is an Episcopal priest. That's interesting. You are at ATech.
No.
Oh, your iPad is cute.
I know.
Is that yours or?
Yeah. Well, not personally mine, but.
Oh, I don't even know what color mine is.
This social was
Oh, I'm waiting
funny.
on a cover case for it.
Oh, Stace, I looked for the watch, the Galaxy watch or whatever.
Yeah.
380. I was like,
Okay.
never mind.
Yeah.
I'll wait on that.
Expensive. I do love my Apple Watch though. It's great.
I'm supposed to be getting one soon
Yeah, I love it.
for my birthday.
I just like having the notifications right there on my wrist.
Oh, yes.
I forgot about that story.
Wow.
Yeah, they are very helpful. But you have to be in range within
National
range of
Spouse
your
is
phone.
All right, listen up. In case you didn't know, today is National Spouses Day, a time to celebrate the better half. So being a little mischievous, I decided to ask people on Facebook, tell me one good trait about your spouse and one that needs maybe a little bit more work. This was a good one. Christy said, the best trait, supportive of my harebrained ideas no matter what. Worst trait, supportive of my harebrained ideas no matter what. Dana said, 28 years married. Best trait, supportive and loving. Worst, messy. Donna says, best, hard worker. Worst, not listening to me. He'll say, you didn't tell me to do that. And I say, well, yes, I did. I've heard that about 8 million times. Scott Lynch says, best, always putting others first before herself. Worst, a pack rat. And Trey Blackburn said, best, just being her. Worst, not being a fan of ground beef. I can see a guy not liking that. I love Sam. Sam Sharp said, she's perfect. And by the way, she also reads these.
Good job, Sam.
Very smart answer. Yes,
Good job,
very
Sam.
good. Best
Okay,
and worst trait.
Chilton,
Oh, you want me to go first?
Go for it.
All right, best is because she takes care of the family like nobody would. I mean, she's got everything buttoned up and all that. And worst is that she gets stressed so easily. I'm always having to like try to bring the stress level down. She uses that Calm app a lot, which really
that's
does,
smart.
she loves it.
Okay. Yeah.
Stress level up to here, but boy, does she run a tight ship for family.
I would say with my husband Jake, worst is definitely the messiness. Like, I'm a clean freak and he could care less. If he helps me clean, I go back over what he's already cleaned because he doesn't do a good enough
this
job.
isn't clean.
Yeah, but I will tell you, he is the most patient and loving human being that I've ever met.
He is patient.
I mean, he's just the perfect person
He's the
for me.
chillest guy in the
So
world.
even killed, like, so opposite of me, which is exactly, I just need someone to bring me back down to earth.
That's right.
And that's what he does.
And it's that opposites attract, or also the 80-20 rule in relationships. Like 80% you like what they have, and there's always going to be that 20% of something that you don't like as much.
Acceptable losses
Yeah,
is what you're
acceptable
saying,
losses.
the 20%. I like that, it's very good. Yeah, Leslie, if I wash the dishes like anything by hand, she always takes it and does it again.
Don't do a good enough job.
All right, let's check on the forecast now, Monique.
I will say 80% of the forecast I like, 20% I don't, because it kind of seems like this copy and paste where every weekend we keep seeing snow flurries across the area. Tonight temperature is 20, tomorrow back up to 43. Want to show this futurecast once again to kind of really show you how the weekend is going to set itself up. Starting out Friday, clouds build in, quickly looking at rain, then transitioning into snow as we go into the latter part of your Friday, but kind of patchy. Not everyone getting to see snowfall, and looking as though the snowfall totals between a trace to even 2 inches of snow. Haven't yet showed you that full 7 days, so I want to show it before the 4 p.m. hour ends. You can see only 20% Friday to Saturday, not in favor of that forecast, but the rest of it, not too shabby for winter.
One, two, three, four, five.
Hey, mic check, Tim. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey there, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Hey, mic check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Can't believe that guy's biggest critique of his spouse was
Mayors of Greensboro, High Point, and Winston-Salem.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Is there a number to call?
I'm doing it.
Oh, okay.
We might be moving. Hey, we're up. I just did 0763 and got a busy tone. talk to me real quick, just so I hear you?
10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1. 10-9-8-7-6-5-4-3-2-1.
Not on anything currently. 06.
It's time for my 2 cents. Recently, I shared with you a rather personal story about my grandparents. They lost their home and all their belongings to a fire just 2 days before Thanksgiving. It was a tough loss, but they are doing so much better these days. They have their health and will be moving into their new home soon. This experience impacted my parents, sister, my uncles, aunts, so many people in my family. This tragedy has given some more responsibilities financially, and some have not yet been able to emotionally process the situation at hand. It's been a lot. Living in this pandemic the last 2 years has made me reevaluate many aspects of my life. A lot of those evaluations were about myself, goals I wanted to accomplish, what I wanted to work on internally, a lot of self-driven things. But the loss of my grandparents' home really has shown me the importance of looking outside of yourself and truly focusing on the mental well-being of others. I share this to say life is not always about you and your problems. It's imperative that we take time to see how others are doing. Friends and family may not always tell us that something is wrong, but letting them know that you were there for them can really make all the difference. That's my 2 cents. That's your 4 to 5. WFMY News 2 at 5 starts now.
On another chilly day, 118 years or so ago, the Wright brothers took off from Kitty Hawk, making North Carolina